As a Grimsby Town fan, I love an underdog story, and I've already made some happen on the channel this footballing season. My personal favourite, taking over the worst team in England, but now we travel to Ireland for an even bigger challenge, the poorest team, as the ratings might not be as bad as the Bromley players, but the overall transfer budget is the worst in FC 25, so all this money just disappears. As we've got to take Galway United all the way from League 2 to the Premier League and the Champions League. That is the most important trophy. But here's the twist, I'm going to be the manager. That's self-explanatory really. But not only is this challenge finished when we win the Champions League, but we've got to try and do it with 100 million in the bank account. As yes people, here we are. Galway United is the team name. And the budget, the lowest in FIFA of under $500,000. Even in League 2, that's pretty low. We've had better with Grimsby Town. And that number when we win the UCL has to be 100 million. Now that can come from player sales, that can come from current budget at the start of the season. And we don't really sign any players at all. That is literally the only aim, as the team doesn't have the worst ratings. This isn't even the best squad. And I can see we've got a 65 rated. Cunningham, but then again, looking at the age of the players, we've got 34-year-olds. Yep, I'm not liking it. I don't think I'm reaching the Prem with these players, and plus they won't sell for profit, so I don't think at the moment we've got 100 million sat in the club. We've got to use our brain to try and make it, as we won't in League 2. I think to make it in League 2, we've got to rely on two things. We've done free agent saves themselves, and they will get us players for free. When we obviously don't have a budget, because we can just put that into contracts, or maybe into the academy, because young players could be the way forward. And that is what I'm going to prioritise first with our first scout. We've got Alan, and for the first season, of course, he's got to go to the Republic of Ireland, where Galway United plays, but we are over here in England, and we are looking for gems we could try and reach the Premier League with, or even use them in the UCL final, because we need to make a team worthy of winning it as the current players in the academy. I'm going to look at potential, not the overall ratings of the players, and I'm going to get releasing a few of these to make room for what we've got here. Right, that guy looks the best, but still he's only worth under 200k. That's not enough now to get us moving up the league, as we've got to promote our best youth player, Flavio Dominguez. Now, if we can get him to that 90 potential mark, one, I will be stunned, and two, I think it's damn near impossible anyway, because we can't even put money into coaches. As the second priority also, I've gone and signed every contract up before going to free agents and after doing the scouting to see how much money we have left over. And that's brilliant. £21. This really was the lowest budget. No lying going on here, as we do have some better players in the reserves on the bench. I've got to make the best team, and I've got to pick the best formation. I know we're in England. It's usually a 4-back or a 4-4-2, but I'm going to go 5-2-1-2 because the defense is the best position. I'm going to go drop back. I'm going to go cautious playing, and I'm going to add Dominguez to the bench for the first season. As how do we doing it? As let's be brutally honest, not much to do in season 1. We don't have the money, and without money, career mode gets a little boring. Apart from using youth, which we couldn't afford, we do go and finish 23rd. Sorry, Newport County fans, you are stinkier than Galway. At the moment, again, no offence, and yes, we went out in round 1 of the FA Cup. And get this, in the Carabao, we actually beat a championship side. In real life, cup wins equal money for the season after. So hopefully we do get some money from our visit to Kenilworth Road. Losing to Luton as the Papa Johns, we go ahead and boss our group before losing to Stevenage, but hey, we've done okay in cups. Considering the team we have, we play counter-attacking. These ratings are absolutely stinky. Apart from a few defenders, I mean, Cunningham is down to a 59, and he started as the best player. A lot of the CDMs as well in the team. Don't want to change to centre mids, want to change to defenders and actually increase. A lot of cam training at the moment, as Killian Browder is our best player, joint with Robert Slevin, and they're both actually in their prime at 26. So we could sell the Irish Welshman if we don't get a budget next year. Also, Bobby Burns is quite good. Also, Ed McCarthy. And Stephen Walsh, despite being 53 rated at 34, is the top scorer this season with 16, but we need a new striker and a new team in general. Flavio Dominguez, our only promoted youngster, does go +3, but that's only to 53. Next year, we've got to prioritize stepping up to that next level. And if you want to be on the journey, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And we've reached season 2. Now, come on, we don't want just 500,000 again. We did go far in cups. 2 million budget this year. I mean, it is 4 times the last one, but when you look at the team, massive improvements needed. This is our best 11, and it's a 52 rated striker. Oh, hang on, no, we've got a 54. We've actually got a 55 as well. And we actually had a Cam, a 60 rated, so that's our best squad. And midfielders definitely needed. You can see we're very short on numbers in the center of the park. Flavio Dominguez at the moment, though, might get a game, which is good news for the youth, as the youth we kept from last season, we've got a 51 rated, but again, very stinky. Maybe we promote them to loan them, see if we get a huge loan increase. As the increase I'm making this year is I'm actually adding another scout, not just going for 1, but going for 2 sets of youngsters. As the 1-star scout, he's heading back to the Republic of Ireland, and the English scout to England, hopefully finding someone in the country. And I'm prioritizing attackers because attackers will sell for more money in the future. And I know we don't play wingers, but the squad isn't too good, so we could change to a winger formation. That would allow the youngsters to play. If they're good enough, there's the scout report straight in. We've got a decent player here. And we also got some English decent ones as Jonathan West. 85 potential, but he's 60 rated, which almost makes him one of the best in the squad. We've got Aidan O'Neill. We've got Joshua McDonnell. All 3 of them, or should I say 5, because we've promoted 5 players. All good enough to get into the squad. And with that, we changed the formation to this one, getting youth players in. And now we only need a striker. As 748k, we could actually make that more as well if we sold one of our bench players, but at the moment, don't think we can do that. I think the play, unfortunately, still is to go to the free agent market. As much as I don't really want to, we've got to try and find a hidden gem there who can actually have us competing. And Reggie Lawrence is 61 rated. A good player, but still, I want a player good enough for League 2 level. And this guy looks pretty good. I mean, his first name is Victory. And I think that's a pretty good omen, because we do need more of them this season. And welcome Reggie Lawrence. I wanted his contract primarily focused on, and then welcome into Victory. I really hope this man hits the ground running. And it looks like he's had a good impact, 65 rated. We're far away from the end of the season, a mistake I made, so yeah. The players haven't been playing. Defense has done all right. I mean, Clark is now 48 in goal. West has done pretty good. Also, McCarthy, an OG player, pretty goddamn decent. And also, the other striker, Reggie Lawrence, 19 years old, 65 rated. If we could get 2 strikers in, maybe it takes a formation change. That would probably benefit us, because look at that. Both double digits. Shared game time as Ed McCarthy. There we go. He's got 17 goals, 13 assists, and he's actually an OG player. Like in my wingers, but it's come at a cost because we've had to release 2 players. Couldn't afford their contracts as I've promoted players to go out on loan, like Collar you just saw, and Gavin Devine, who hasn't done good. Promoted them 2 because they were the only ones we could promote, but we can promote a lot more now, which is what I'm going to be doing. But look at that. It's an improvement on points, but 23rd again. We are rotting in this division. This is a prime example with Galway that the poorer get poorer, as we can't get out of this division, losing in round 2 of the FA Cup, losing in round 1 this time of the Carabao to Barrow, and losing straight away in the BSM in round 2. And this cannot stick. We cannot have 3 seasons in League 2 of England, the bottom tier. So I'm going to be changing the tactics, going for wing play, bring us out of the defensive hole, going 4-2-4 formation, which looks drastically different, but we know we had 2 decent strikers, and this team on paper maybe could go for a promotion slot. But still, we've got a 59 rated. Flavio Dominguez does not stick. And McDonough in goal. Yes, he's 21, but he's not good enough for the promotion push we want to go on as the budget this season, right? It goes down to $1 million, so it's not actually going to be the 2 we got last year. It's 1.2 as well, so it's on the lower side of 1 million. And at least we have bought the scouts. We've got 2 we can send out this year. And I am going to be doing it this year. I'm going to go differently with North Macedonia and also to Fiji. I'm going to try and change up the scouting. See if we can find any hidden gems, as that's cost us 51k overall. Quite a bit of money, but we need to get them positions in. I'd rather get the keeper in through the free agents. Make sure we get a solid one. As Connor Bailey, I've already seen him. I know he's probably too good for the level, but we've got to get the best we can in, and plus he would sell for over $1 million if we needed to get rid of him, but that is still a gamble because his contract snuck up. And I'm probably sure a lot of the current players will do. Money-wise, as I've just signed a few contracts up with the club, and that's kind of okay. We've still got over $500,000 to check our academy with, as I'm not seeing some good ratings. Apart from this last man, Ilaron Tisvestanov. I was always butchering that name, but to be fair, there's a few more decent players, and these first 4 are all over 16, so we'll be promoted to the first team probably for loans, as look how small that budget is. 133k, but I am desperate to fit in yet another signing, as just judging by the bench, we definitely need another centre mid. I really want to shoot for the playoffs, and we've had to go for this man. Is it Tyler or Tyrese Francois, the Australian? Probably butchered the name, but he does have an in-game face. And I remember him playing at Wigan, Fulham, and somewhere else. As this team should survive the division, or get out, should I say. I don't know why Victory hasn't played, because we're on the chase for it. And I'm going to stop saying the puns with his name. Our best player, of course, Connor Bailey. Running out of contract next year, though, because they didn't want to sign a long one. Same with Bobby Burns. I don't blame them, because we're kind of poor, and they will be chasing the money. I don't blame any player for doing so. As goal scoring wise, you can see we've got a lot of players double digits, hopefully getting us into them playoffs, or even better as it is, 97 points, but we still don't win the league with Wigan. What are they doing at this level? What an insane team they probably have. As we reach round 4 of the FA Cup, getting beat by Villa, that should be extra money. Hull City won the Carabao Cup. We beat them actually in season 1. As we reached round 3, only penalty stopped us against Huddersfield, proving to me we have a decent squad, as unfortunately out in the group stage of the BSM trophy, but now is when plans go into place. We should have more money, so this is the final season of using the academy, and also free agents might be off the cards soon. That's right, a rule I never said is when we reach the championship, no free agent, so we will have to spend money if we can gather it, as only 2 million. Not good enough at all. And that might actually shut the academy down. Or maybe we go with 1 scout, because 2 would be pretty expensive when we need to be signing players, as I definitely want another centre-back. I know they are OG players, but 1 big, strong one. And also going and getting a right-back, as we did loan a lot of players out last year. And they're all here in the reserves, as I do see 2 good ratings. Neil, pretty decent. Also this man Walters, and also Kolar, the goalkeeper, at 18, doing pretty damn decent, as if we did need to sell Connor Bailey at any point in the save, I think we should be able to replace him. As for now, though, we're signing his contract up, and at least we're on the good side of 2 million. However, only signing another 1-year deal, he does not want to stay here long term, as that, again, is a lot of money just took out the club. So yeah, it's going to be 1 scout, and we have only got 2 1-star 1-stars? Oh no, we haven't, it's just glitched out. Franklin's actually pretty decent. As I liked going niche, I'm gonna go niche again, looking in Costa Rica for a striker slash winger slash right back this time out. And look at these 2, they're not right backs, but Marcos Marquez and Julian Bustamante. Pretty decent alongside this man from North Macedonia, and he's only 50 rated, but Alfonso Menendez's potential. As a 13-year-old, he's going to go on to be the next best midfielder, but at the moment, we can't focus on that. We need defenders. And whilst we still can sign free agents, we might as well go for some players in the prime, try and climb the divisions with Lewis Brunt, released from Wrexham. A great player by the looks of things, but won't be our only signing, as we find a French right-back by the name of Dylan Durval. Again, looking pretty decent, but not the final signing and not the final Dylan, as this is Dylan Dubois, who I cannot lie looks pretty decent, doesn't he? The regen Rom, I'm going to call him, because he does look like a new Lukaku. As this is the team overall, McCarthy actually higher than some of our youth. I don't really like that fact, but I do like the majority of ratings. It looks championship level with Bailey, who won't sign a contract. Dubois has the potential to be special. Then we've got Brunty, Burnsy being approached, although he signed a contract, and then our top scorer for the season, Dubois, who we literally just squeezed with the last money we have, into the club. And then we've got the youth players going out on loan. No one too good, apart from Henry Severi, or Cerevi, we could actually sell on our journey to make profit, but then again, we haven't even reached the championship yet, as we'll look at the league. Or sorry, we have reached the championship. 14 defeats, but the most wins in the league guarantees Galway a place in the second tier of English football. Jumping up to with the divisions, but the cups I really do care about because they are the money bringers, as we did beat Barnsley in round 2, then losing to Bournemouth in round 3. Okay, that should get us maybe $1 million. As unfortunately though in the Carabao, a round 1 exit to Wigan in our league, and we lost in the quarterfinals of the BSM on penalties to Huddersfield for the second time running in the seasons. Really disappointing, we're always behind them. As now we have to put free agents behind us, none of them allowed next season, and none of these players allowed, because we had to make some cost cut measures to make sure we can keep climbing, because now we've got to spend our money. And in order to spend that money, we've got to release the players that aren't going to be playing to make sure the squad isn't that big. As what's our budget in the championship? £5 million. I think that says the end to the academy, as we cannot use these. We need to keep some money, and they're not the best scouts. I don't know if I'll sack them. Maybe we'll pick up with them in the championship, or the Premier League, sorry, as we do have these 5 already growing. And we do have 36 players at the squad, which is quite a lot for a club that doesn't have much money. And a lot of these are youth players, not training because they've been out on loan. I'm keeping my eye on the likes of West, Severi, them over 65 rated, really are in the back of my mind, because I do think they can play this year and the others can get loaned out, like Kovacev. But if we change positions here to a few of these players, we'll do well. As also, look at these. A 36 rated Brendan Clark at 42, then a 37-year-old. Them two were just given huge contracts when we got here. They must be loyal lads. But not enough for me anymore. They're going to get released, as we got to train players in different roles, like Kovacev. We're on the search for a centre-back, or Borisov, but he actually looks better as a full-back due to his passing range, so maybe he replaces Burns in the future. But yeah, definitely a centre-back, and then maybe a central midfielder. Majorly disappointed in McDonnell, as I'm going to go there firstly. I'm going to check in League 1 because the players will be cheaper. We've just got out of that division, and I want to take a young player on our journey. There is the likes of Lewis Bates, Josh Benson, ex-Grimsby, for under $1 million in decent stats. But we've got to go for someone like Sol Sidibe, relegated with Stoke City, and still could cost a lot of money, but is running out of his contract. So we're going to try and get him on the cheap side, and this is where the dodgy deals come in. A 25% sell-on clause, which is ridiculous. Not the player to really sell in the future when we need to gather that 100 mil with that massive sell-on clause, but could help us reach the Premier League alongside a centre-back. And I'm going to go for another youngster, Lance Miller, who sure doesn't look ready for first-team football just yet. For now, though, he's just an extra body because he's still on the bench and it's 14th in the championship. So no, we don't do the treble promotions. If you do want to see that done, click the video before this, or actually two before this on the channel. The thumbnail will be on screen. My favourite ever rebuild, that one, is the FA Cup. We reached the 3rd round. Oh, and the Carabao, it's only round 2. We need to gather money. And this isn't gathering money plus the playoffs. If we could get promoted to the Premier League through the playoffs, that should equal an extra little bit of cash. Because whoever wins the playoff game gets the most money. It's a weird thing. But Wembley revenue is sensational, as this team is getting there. Absolutely love this team. We've got the striker, Dubois, on the come up, alongside Bailey, the highest rated. But when we flick to the lowest, we've got an 18 rated Stephen Walsh, who's a striker / left back. Has there ever been a worse card in the entirety of FIFA? Let me know in the comments below, as Dubois outscored by Lawrence. A weird one, as I don't believe it. We really need to win a cup competition. £4 million. We just can't grow a budget in this league. A league with Everton, I can see. We've got Leeds United, Ipswich Town. Don't know why I kind of sung that, but yeah. I really don't like it. Don't get me wrong, our team's amazing, and we've actually built a bit of a bench. Saveri down here, Walters, McDonnell, still trying his best. And now we have some reserves back. Look at these ratings. We've got Partridge. The winger's really growing because O'Neill's done well as well. Getting into the 70 marks, as yes, these players might be worth something. Elijah Partridge, for example, 19-year-old, potential to be special. Definitely can sell him on at one point. Sol Sidibe was 22, 21, Aiden Neal. At least we're keeping the squad young. And now we can rotate these wingers onto the bench because I don't want to sell them just yet. Rotate one into the team and then probably go for a central midfielder or a right back into this team because we've got a 28-year-old on one side and a 29 on the other. That is our oldest position now. We probably need to go for a youngster, maybe a regen youngster at fullback. And when I think of fullbacks, I do think of Spanish players. Like you just saw there, Dani Carvajal. But when I look in the Spanish league, they're all really expensive. Even the non-Spanish players are. Apart from this man, Mario Conti, 19-year-old, but still a bit expensive. Maybe we don't go for him. Maybe we look outside of the top leagues. Maybe in Argentina. Maybe the Libertadores. Check South America, because we know a lot of South Americans who have done well. Maybe not just at fullback, but overall, as there's some good ones. And they're cheap, like Goncalves, but if we could find a better one still. Maybe Dennis Pereira for 2.2 million, spend the rest on contracts. We'll do this, and hopefully one signing could step us up in the league. And this is how he's done. He's actually not in the team, or is he? Because Burns, our 75 rated, got injured, giving game time to Pereira, now 19-year-old, 77 rated, and put him into the team. That team looks good enough for promotion. If you ask me, everybody signed up. We've got 2 over 80 raters in Bailey and Dubois, but then also out on loan, Henry Serevi, who was the Fiji player we loaned out. We've got Sidibe, Partridge, he came back and he's doing quite well. A lot of decent players around the same rating, which pleases me. Means in the future when we go to sell players, we should be getting that cash in. As Ed McCarthy from day one is our top scorer with 23 goals, Dubois with only 12, almost half as many, which is genuinely shocking to me. And yes, there's all these good players from the big teams on that sheet, but you can see Ed McCarthy, 5th top scorer and top assister, so we do have probably the player of the season. Never mind, still be here with the team, as we just don't draw games. We're going to the Premier League, yes, not through the playoffs, but by winning the championship. And I would have rather gone through the playoffs for the money. Hopefully get a decent budget, but we do need to make that 100 million. The season we win the Champions League as we lose to Shrewsbury and lose to Norwich in the first rounds of the cups we enter, meaning the budgets won't be good in the Prem. We don't know what the playoff teams are going to be, so we don't know who we're competing with for relegation, because yes, I said it, despite all these decent ratings you see, despite them all being similar, the fight we have next season is purely to stay in the top division. And you are as surprised as me to see us in the Premier League. 9th at the moment. Can it finish there? Can we call the season? Because I'm really not looking forward to scrolling to the side to see the budget. Right, it's £35 million. If we made 65 million this season and then won the Champions League, this would be the save completed. But let's not lie, winning the Champions League, I think we're a little bit off that still. It has been a huge mammoth journey here, but this is a squad that we do start with. We've got 80 rated already, so I feel quietly confident in survival. If we could just get another central midfielder, because Francois or Francois, I don't know how you say it, but he's definitely got to go. Then maybe a new defender, maybe a younger right back. As our lone boys are back as well, we do have the likes of Serevi, who will push his way into the team, but we also have the lone boys from before that we never changed the positions of because they did go out on loan deals. Borisov could be our right back, so I'm going to keep him at the club and train him there. Then Gavril Kodachev, he's going to train to be our centre back. If we need one in the future, as here are the bids for the players, Connor Bailey, almost 100 million for one man. Selling him would complete the save, obviously if we did win the Champions League, but I'm not thinking about them deals. I'm thinking more about Bobby Burns, who yes is an OG player, but he's got to go at the age of 30. Cashing in on the man for £7.1 million and hoping he enjoys his time at Millwall, as we'll go one rating lower and hopefully cheaper in price. Simon Beck, 22-year-old. Very savvy business if you ask me, selling the old to get the young in. As out goes another key player from the League 2 season, our striker Victory, to again be replaced by a younger striker from Norwich, Sanders, who looks brilliant for the bench. I think the bench is actually full-fledged. We could probably do with another centre-back, but that is not this season's priority. We need that midfielder to replace Francois. We have made a bit of money still in 36 million, and you might have just been able to tell who I'm going for, or maybe not. We used him in the last save we did. With Liverpool, Trayton Yoni looks brilliant, only 23 still, slightly more attacking, and I'm hoping we can get him on the cheap side. However, we don't. That's a shame, but still I've got full faith in him. This youngster can take Galway to the next level. And there he is in that lineup. Look at the lineup. Take it in and tell me in the comments how good this is, because honestly, I am absolutely loving it. The midfield is now linking up. We've got Bailey at an 87, Dubois at an 85. Partridge not even getting played the captain. Due to how strong the bench is, we've got O'Neill and West in the reserves. They usually get onto this bench, where Walters hasn't been on. He's been in the first team, and then we've got McCarthy almost an 80. We've got Sanders now an 80. The backup striker, only 20 years of age. Ready to take over wherever he is. It's Lawrence here, who's 24. But below him, Josh McDonnell, who we actually got on loan to Crystal Palace. And at Palace, he has done an immense job getting upgraded. As goal-wise, actually, I talked bad about Lawrence. He scored most goals, which in our first season, we actually... oh my days. We actually get Champions League. We actually very luckily did. 11 defeats is loads. Well, to be fair, it's the same as Arsenal. We got one more win. Newcastle, we could have finished 7th easily. That was extremely close, but hopefully it upgrades our budget next year. I'm thinking about that more than the Champions League, which we might not go immediately for. And I'll explain that in a second, as round 3 of the FA Cup and round 3 of the Carabao. So still don't get our cup runs going. Maybe because of our backup keeper. Hopefully we get it running at some point, as what a final that is. Fulham beating Chelsea 5-4 in the huge grudge match, as I don't know what our budget is just yet, but we're only expected mid-table. Last season we drastically overperformed. However, they want the Champions League semi-final reaching at the same time, so finish mid-table, but then get into the last 4 of the UCL. Doesn't really make sense to me, and we aren't even getting given 100 million, which usually is the case when you do first get in the UCL. So that's why, like I said, I am not going to go for the UCL, because I'm not going to try and raise the money. I don't think that really benefits us right now. For example, Bailey's still growing. Yes, he's the age of 27, and Dubois is still growing. Yes, at the age of 24. But if we can keep increasing them players, increasing the squad overall, then at some point we can sell them when we actually feel UCL ready. But at the moment, this doesn't feel it at all. The next position I want to get is definitely a new right back, because Duvrau is 30. And like I said before, Spanish regens at fullback are key. Well, they are to me anyway, and when looking in the Bundesliga, not even the Spanish league, there is a lot of decent ones to choose from. And the one I'm looking at most, yes, he's 23, but Romero, sorry, forgot the E, because we can get him bang on his evaluation, saving us a little bit of money to potentially go elsewhere. Around 30 million, and now I'm staring at a 30-year-old centre-back in Brunty who needs to be benched, and also there's a little theme going on here. He's got the captain's armband. Last time it was Partridge. If you are the captain of Galway, be warned, because there's a curse on you. It means you're the next to go, as 34 million left. And this time we've got to go for a real-life rock of a man. Someone with a little bit of know-how. He's been in Germany, now in Spain. Belosian I know can grow, and it's another player with an in-game face, so very excited for this man. Should maybe do well in the UCL. Oh my god. Oh my god. What's happened here then? How is Galway United winning the Premier League, not winning 18 games, losing 8, drawing 10, 70 points only, but it is the 1 goal difference that settles it over Newcastle and Liverpool. That is one of the weirdest Premier Leagues I've ever seen. And it's a Champions League again. Do we go for it? Well, we haven't got FA Cup money. Losing the first round we enter and only round 4 of the Carabao. Seems like the Champions League we always reach, but can't do it in the domestic cups. And I cannot believe we've won the Premier League. Or actually, looking at the team further closely, it is actually decent. We've got good centre-back pairing. We've got a 90 rated goalkeeper, an 87 rated striker who scored 36 goals, did the next Lukaku, Dylan Dubois. Then we've got Walters, who's injured, Lawrence getting 14 himself. However, the big surprise is Ed McCarthy still going at 31. The Irish kid is amazing, and it's good to see a Galway faithful doing it, all the way from when we was actually the poorest team. As 4th, this is unbelievable. 4th in the Champions League phase. Could we win it season 1 because we beat Olympique Marseille? However, Bayern Munich next up, 4-3 on aggregate. Nothing to be disappointed with, and I absolutely loved it. A proper season, but does it align with the proper budget? We do have the Community Shield. Oh, we're almost getting there. £72 million, and I'm still thinking about the Champions League, but surely we can't bottle it. Surely we've got to prepare for it. Season 2, we usually do well in the almighty trophy, and this is how the team looks. Now, I've got a little bit of a plan here. With our bench being so good, we've definitely got some players we can sell. For example, the reserves. We've got Francois, we've got West. Them two never will play. And also, we've got 2 decent strikers with an 80 rated on the bench. If we change formation, we sell a decent player, get a good player in, we could genuinely challenge here, as I am going to go for an attacking 4-3-3. Have Dubois being the forward man, maybe get rid of Lawrence, and then bring a Cam to the club who maybe is a little past his prime. Someone over 30, but someone we know who's capable of winning, but is running out of contract. As you can see at the side, it is 81.1 million. If we could get another 90 rated, we might have to sell some of his players, maybe Bailey, the goalkeeper, but I'm talking a lot because it's all pictured in my head. How are we going to do this? So Reggie Lawrence, I am going to put onto the transfer list. Also Jonathan West. And why not try Tyrese Francois? And then Connor Bailey's a tester. We're going to see how much money we could get for him. Decide if we're going to sell him. And maybe we could bring in someone older and cheaper, as here's the first one, and it is a little bit of a disappointment. Or he was Jonathan West. He's going to Sevilla, and he was our first big youth player. Back near the start of this save, as Francois, we can accept straight away. And Lawrence, 92 mil. That's almost enough for Parma. Also, Dubois has been approached, so we're going to have to pay him a new deal. And that's going to eat into our money that we currently have now at 86 million. But we have done done it. We've sold the big man. Lawrence was here from almost season 1. Going to Bournemouth, a league rival, but 92 mil is 92 million. Giving us enough for Cole Palmer. Now, I am going to offer 82 million only, plus a sell-on clause. I know he's 30, but 25% is agreed upon. That is absolutely huge for this save, as now we have a 91 rated, but still only 66 after his contract. So at the moment, we cannot win the UCL because we don't have 100 in the bank. So maybe we select another player to sell. O'Neill could be the one to leave the club, as Tyrese out first. That's an extra 6 million to the budget. And then out goes Neil, the small man, for 34 million, leaving us with 106 million pounds at the end of this season. So, you know, if we do go and win that UCL, which I've questioned since we were in it, but I would be eligible to just complete the save because this team, well, I'm distracted, actually. I meant to say we can win it because we have made the money, but this team, just look at it. Dubois, Palmer, Miller and Bailey, all over 90 rated. I can't believe I was going to sell Bailey. Get him off that transfer list, as it says. One of the world's best, alongside Palmer, who is brilliant, but he only scored 9 goals. The top scorer at the club, Ed McCarthy, somehow again. Right, the Irish Beast, I think, could be up for the Ballon d'Or. Despite only 81 rated, I have no idea how he hasn't grown further. Maybe the game knows he was from Galway, but as you can see, Galway doing pretty decent. Second this season, so it isn't back-to-back wins. For the first time, draws actually distract us, as I really do like the badge of Galway, and I like seeing it winning the Community Shield, which we don't put in the cabinet. Never been a counter of the Community Shield, only a counter of the big competitions, which we don't go very far in. Again, United get revenge in round 3 of the FA Cup, and then we did reach round 16 of the Carabao, but Forest beat us on penalties as Grimsby got to the quarters. Love that from the team that I do support, but the Champions League, this is where it matters. And 19th is a bit of a fall off. Then again, a lot of goals scored. We only took 2 defeats, and then we hammered Leipzig. Yes, they scored a few, but we scored 5. To then go and beat Real Madrid, scoring 5 again with our attack force. Then we beat Paris 4-2 to go ahead and draw Spurs. Yep, 4-0 against Spurs. I mean, the moment I saw Spurs pop on screen, and Newcastle got into the semis, but it will be us against Bayern Munich. And forgive me, I did not spot we actually had a game less in the league. We just beat Burnley 2-0 before going into this Bayern game. Do like Bayern's kit as well. It's in the cupboard as Nanasi, a good player from the Swedish league, as a Dogier down the line. We did lose the ball straight away, and the difficulty's up, and it looks to be so. Striker is in right here. A big save from our keeper, Bailey. Diblin missing the rebound as well as Walters. Now get into the middle. Sidibe onto Palmer. Cole Palmer will have to help the striker, but he isn't helping himself right there. And Malinovsky, first time we've been dominated in a game at the start, as a good block for Belasian. Not liking this early on, but at least we've got the throw in into Neoni, into Cole Palmer. Can shoot from anywhere. Can our man Cole? Not great, that one, though. Not very cold, not very aura-filled, as now we need to try and get a tackle in. Miller does the centre-back, signed from Derby, and Unyoni. That's a brilliant pass down the line for Walters. Keep running here, Walters. He needs to try and get a ball into the middle, but can't, so cuts back in the middle again. Cole Palmer. If he can shoot this time, it's Palmer. What a save. What a save, Restes. Now for the corner tactic. Come on, who's at the back post? Can we have a tall centre-back, Serevi, to whip it in? And it's Palmer who misses again. I know he's 31 now on the decline, but you have got to finish those, as our striker's not been very involved. Dubois, as they're trying to sneak forward, so just took Diblin off and got a free kick for nothing. A good tackle, and now Dubois, he's done absolutely nothing in the game as the Belgian. Oh my days, what a tackle. And I think it's actually injured him, but we're going to play on. Cole Palmer, our passing is terrible. Genuinely despicable, as Palmer has even got the passing trait. Now into Serevi, if he's onside, if he could find Palmer again, that's a brilliant running behind. Cole Palmer, one-on-one with the keeper and smashes it in the top corner. Our striker is injured, not our cam. The main signing from Chelsea, who we literally signed and kept £1 million in the bank, buries it into the top right corner. And now Dubois comes off for Alexanders, We've only got, what was it, 25 minutes of the game left. Come on, Galway. Put your foot on the pedal again. And keep this lead, as Sanders should be making no mistakes. Serevi, if you can get it round the corner, that's a good ball into Neoni, the ex-Liverpool Academy graduate. What a tackle! What they're playing at! Trying to give each other piggybacks there, as we need a tackle. And Belasian, he is experienced in the Bundesliga, so can make the tackles, but now he's out of position and we need cover. We need to make a tackle. It's a good run to Nasi, a player I'm a huge fan of. A tackle again, a tackle again. And it genuinely has me nervous because for the first time in FC, I think, we've been the worst team in the final. But now, in the last 25 or 30 minutes, we've been the better or slightly crept up the field, not the better in terms of chances. But if we could create another one, that could have been the game, as don't let them run. The referee blows his whistle and saves us. Big win. We have done it with Galway United, from the worst team in English football, the poorest in England and Ireland, to success on the big stage. Romero is the captain that actually survived being sold. The right-back Regen Carvajal, I'm going to call him, as that is brilliant. A huge win for the Irish side, and I really like these challenges of worst team, poorest team. We've done youngest. What is the next one? Let me know in the comments below, or just tell me any team to rebuild. As if you want another one, click my hands here.